India's National Education Policy 2020, a transformational framework. A comprehensive analysis of India's ambitious education reform agenda and implementation strategies for policymakers and education leaders worldwide. Policy background and development. The NEP 2020 represents India's first comprehensive education policy in 34 years, replacing the 1986 framework. It was developed through an unprecedented consultative process involving over 2 years of nationwide discussions, input from 2.5 lakh plus village-level entities, more than 110,000 written suggestions from citizens, consultation with 77 education ministers and secretaries. Core philosophy and guiding principles. Accessibility and equity. Universal access from preschool to secondary education, with special emphasis on socio-economically disadvantaged groups, SEDGs, and inclusive education for all learners. Holistic development focus on 21st century skills, critical thinking, and creativity rather than rote learning. Integration of arts, sports, and vocational education. Indian ethos and values. Rootedness in Indian traditions while preparing students for global citizenship, multilingualism and promotion of Indian languages, arts, and culture. Flexibility and innovation. Multiple entry-exit points, academic credit banks, and removal of rigid boundaries between disciplines to enable multidisciplinary learning experiences. Structural transformation of school education. Foundational stage, ages 3 to 8, 5 years of flexible, multilevel, play-based learning with focus on foundational literacy and numeracy. Preparatory stage, ages 8 to 11. 3 years with introduction to experiential learning in subjects, continued emphasis on play and discovery. Middle stage, ages 11 to 14. 3 years of more abstract concepts with subject teachers, critical thinking and exploration emphasized. Secondary stage, ages 14 to 18. 4 years with multidisciplinary study, greater flexibility, deeper critical thinking, and attention to life aspirations. Higher education reforms. Academic framework. 4-year undergraduate programs with multiple exit options. Academic bank of credits for storing academic credits. National Research Foundation to foster research culture. Internationalization through faculty-student exchanges and institutional partnerships. Technology integration and digital education. National Digital Educational Architecture, NDIAR. Comprehensive digital infrastructure for educational planning, governance, and administrative activities across all levels. Digital-first approach. Diksha platform expansion for teacher professional development and student learning materials in multiple languages. Emerging technologies. Integration of AI, VR, and AR for personalized and immersive learning experiences, pilot programs already launched in select schools. The pandemic accelerated digital adoption, with over 250 million students accessing digital learning resources during school closures. Current implementation includes establishing digital labs in 125,000 schools and training 3.2 million teachers in technology integration. Implementation challenges and strategies. Implementation progress varies significantly across states. While curriculum revision shows promising advancement, critical areas like assessment reform and teacher training require more focused intervention. The national implementation timeline extends to 2030 with phased priorities. International comparison and lessons. Flexibility in India. Multiple entry-exit, discipline integration. In Finland, local curriculum autonomy, minimal standardized testing. In Singapore, subject-based tracking with recent flexibility reforms. Teacher quality in India National Professional Standards, 4-year integrated B.Ed. In Finland master's degree requirement, highly selective. In Singapore extensive professional development, performance-based advancement. Assessment in India shift to formative, competency-based learning. In Finland teacher-led assessment, minimal high-stakes testing. In Singapore balance of formative and summative, high-stakes examinations. India's NEP 2020 incorporates successful elements from top-performing education systems while adapting to unique cultural and demographic contexts. Implementation timelines are significantly longer than in smaller systems like Finland or Singapore. Key takeaways and considerations for stakeholders. For policymakers, balance aspirational goals with realistic implementation timelines, prioritize teacher preparation and professional development, ensure adequate and sustained financial commitment, 6% of GDP. For educators, embrace pedagogical shifts toward experiential and inquiry-based learning, engage with new assessment frameworks focused on competencies, participate in continuous professional development opportunities. For school leaders, foster school-based communities of practice, develop phased implementation plans with measurable outcomes, create stakeholder engagement mechanisms including parents and community. The NEP 2020 represents an ambitious vision requiring sustained multi-stakeholder collaboration. Success will depend on adaptability, resource allocation, and balancing national consistency with contextual flexibility.